lost it.
Ow, the drink was so fucking hot. Alright, today we're going to be continuing the build series on my Subaru BRZ. We're going to be installing an oil cooler for my car. So as some of you guys might know, if you've watched our previous videos, my car is turboed. Even without a turbo, I guess my car is known for oil overheating and losing its viscosity and throwing a bearing. So today we're going to be kind of countering that, giving a little bit more insurance to the car, installing that. But before we do that, gotta do an oil change. Let's just get to it.
I lost it.
Alright, now that oil change is half done, waiting for the oil to drain out, we're going to do the bumper now.
Out of counter space, I think Derek got one oil filter. We'll give him a free one. Sheesh. Would you look at that?
Thank you. Broke college student out here.
Broke college to another fucking turbo in this fucking car. Built engine broke my ass. Unboxing. What do we have here?
It's a lot of stuff.
Metal!
It's a lot of pieces.
That looks pretty. We're gonna lay all these parts out and then figure out how they go from in this box into that shit box. Okay. Figuring out how to put this thing together before he tries to put it in the car. This thing looks sick. Look at that blue. It's a nice blue.
My car's not blue.
That would be pretty sick if it matched.
Yeah, straighten out the fans for me. I don't think you're supposed to be able to see through it.
Finish on these pieces are like so nice. Good job, Grady. You did good. Look at this piece. It's a good like paperweight. Looks so nice. We'll catch back up to y'all once we figure everything else here. Figure out how it goes in the car.
Okay, so little update. We have now put together and assembled the oil cooler. It's now on the car. Just a little tip though, if you're planning on getting this for your car, if you have an aftermarket bash bar, they have a bracket for the car mount up to the OEM crash bar. Mine's aftermarket. What we had to do is get a little ghetto, but we zip tied it both on top and the bottom. So give it the little dad test. I don't think it's going anywhere. Pretty sturdy. Yeah, that's there. We just have to do the oil sandwich plate where the oil filter was. So we're gonna do that right now, and then we'll go ahead and fill up the car with oil and then put it back together. It's almost done. Kinda ghetto. Everything is now routed, as you can see. Ooh, pretty. Comment down below if I should dress
Dress up.
Yeah, but just wash my engine bay. Because this shit dusty as fuck. I also don't have fender liners, that's part of the reason why. But if you guys want to see like a strut tower, maybe some like non-yellow OEM pieces all around, should I do it? Make the car look a little bit cleaner? Let me know. Other than that, everything is now routed, as you can tell. Lines going over to the oil cooler. Only thing left is filling it up with oil. When you do an oil cooler install, you are gonna have to overfill your car a little bit more because obviously you're making up for that space of extra oil in your lines. So instead of filling it up to, I believe it's 5.2 on the first gen BRZs, you're gonna have to fill it up to 6 quarts. It's basically like you have a second gen. You're welcome. Isn't yours 6 quarts?
Yeah, it doesn't make it a second gen.
It does make it a second gen.
Okay.
I feel like more like a second gen.
Well, technically second gen is only 5.5
Yeah, but you fill it up overfill to 6 quarts.
for safety.
For safety.
Obviously
Mine's
didn't
for
look-
safety. 6 quarts. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have the oil, so we're gonna go to Walmart. I'll race you there. 3, 2, 1.
A few moments later.
Damn, we made it back before Derek. Fuck yeah. Oh shit, there he is.
Holy.
Bro, what took you so long?
What?
I've been waiting here for like 30 minutes.
Okay, now that everything is filled up with oil, you're now going to prime the engine, prime the oil throughout the system, get it into the oil cooler. Hopefully there's no leaks. We'll see. Things seem to go wrong when, you know, I'm just gonna stop talking. I love you.
Derek got a fortune cookie that said, "Don't forget to say I love you." And he was like, "What the fuck? Am I gonna die right now?" Hopefully everything goes well.
Alright, test number 1. Let's go.
Oh, looks pretty good to me. Doesn't look like there's any oil.
As long as you're not in here yet, or like pulling out of here, that's a good sign. One thing I've noticed so far is my oil pressure on startup is a little lower than what it normally is. Kinda interesting. I'll keep monitoring it as it warms up, but hopefully it's okay. It's a little bit lower. Weird.
Looks pretty good so far. I mean, I don't see any oil leaking anywhere. As far as the oil cooler hoses go, no oil's leaking out of those. Sandwich plate doesn't look like there's any oil. Looking solid so far. Once the engine warms up and everything, we'll look at it and then update you guys with that. Real quick, there might not be any oil running through the cooler right now because this kit does come with like a little tempting right here. Not exactly how sure it works, but my hypothesis is that there's a little like spring in there with the cylinder. So when the oil's cooler, it's thicker, which means more pressure. So my thought is when there's more pressure, it pushes that valve and cuts it off from going through the cooler. And then once it warms up and gets hot enough, it needs to be cooled. The viscosity of the oil lowers, which lets the valve open, and then it goes through the cooler as it needs to, which is pretty cool if that's how that works. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be for. However it works, that's pretty cool. More than likely, if the oil isn't up to temp yet, it's not running through the cooler.
We've been letting the car sit for the past 15 minutes or so. I did notice that the car does take a lot longer to warm up, but look at the temp right here. Yeah, 80 right now. It's acting pretty normal, so I don't think we'll really know the true benefits of this until we start driving it and kind of eating on it a little bit more just to get some air through the actual oil cooler. As of right now, everything's running normal, no leaks, so far so good. Okay, so bumper is now back on the car. Check this out. Damn, that shit blue. My car's not blue. Oh, the blue matches the Subaru emblem.
Completely different blue.
Shh. They don't know that.
Color correct that.
Yeah, honestly, this looks really cool. I mean, I feel like you can tell now by looking at the front bumper that this thing is modified, so GG's.
Pretty obvious.
Maybe I can get it coated black in the future, but as for now, it looks really sick. If you look in the engine bay as well, the lines for the oil cooler for the sandwich plate are honestly really cool. No L's on this, other than the fact that I can't use it with an aftermarket bash bar. Other than that, would recommend this if you want to keep your BRZ running safe. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more content. We do have some more stuff coming for this car in the future. Andrew's car has some updates. Psych.
Still have no updates since the last video, guys, so keep waiting.
We're waiting for that, but if you want to see that, more content with this in the meantime while we're waiting for Andrew's car, subscribe. Fun building cars. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Peace.